Self-concept and having a good one will honestly just completely change the game as far as manifesting your person, a job, or anything you could possibly want. Self-concept is the foundation beneath anything that you can do. And with a strong foundation, of course, it makes it easier to build something solid on top of that foundation. In fact, I attribute probably 90% of my success manifesting Katie in this house and the business and all that kind of stuff succeeding to the fact that my self-concept was improved, and being worked on. So what I want to do today, kind of following on from the specific person video I did a couple of days ago, I want to give you 5 self-concept affirmations that are honestly going to put you kind of on the throne of your proverbial kingdom. You want to be the king or queen of your reality. These affirmations are going to help you do that. And obviously, like I did on the specific person video, I'm going to be giving you a little bit of detail about why I think they're such good affirmations. So starting with number 1, I accept the best and only the best, and I'm provided the best and only the best. Kind of goes without saying why this is so important. If you're accepting only the best, then you're not going to get lesser than that. You get what you assume to be true. And if you assume to be true that you only accept the best and you're provided that, whether it's a person, whether it's a job, whether it's, friends and family, you will only be given the best to accept. So just starting off strong here, if you start claiming that you accept the best and only the best, people have to show up giving you the best, reality has to show up giving you the best, and you will only allow yourself to accept the best. Which means if, for whatever reason, you get someone showing up maybe a little half-assed, you won't accept it. And you'll have an easier time not accepting it, which then makes room for something that you will accept. So starting off strong, I accept the best and only the best, and I'm provided the best and only the best. Number 2, I have always been good enough as I am. Many of us think we need to be taller, stronger, prettier, thinner, more muscular, have more money, have more, have more game or whatever. Very rarely do we sit there and go, you know what? I have intrinsic value. I am actually enough as I am. So when you can start affirming and changing those stories within yourself to claim that you are actually good enough as you are, this doesn't absolve you of growth and change. You can still absolutely do those things if you want, but it just means that even if your bank account isn't as abundant as you'd like it to be, you're still good enough to have what you want. Even if you aren't as muscular or as thin or have as much of a hairline as you'd like, you're still good enough to have what you want. So I really like this affirmation because it just gives you a strong place to start from. Because being good enough as you are doesn't mean that you don't have room for growth. It just means that if you don't grow, you are still enough. Which for many people helps take some of the weight off when they look at their bank account or their appearance in the mirror or whatever. So I like this affirmation as like a solid foundation. Yeah, I'm good enough as I am. And then you can grow and develop and improve more if you wish to on the side. Number 3, I feel safe and secure within myself to be, do, or have anything I desire. Most people won't approach life grabbing it like, by the horns and taking it because they're scared. Scared for various reasons. Scared of succeeding, which, believe it or not, is a thing. Scared of failure, which I think most of us know is a thing. Scared of what other people might think, what other people might say, some of the consequences, both good and bad. Fear is one of the reasons that many people do stay in a little bubble. So I feel safe and secure within myself to be, do, or have anything I desire. It just helps formulate within your mind that safety, that security, that you can do what you want and be okay, that you can be what you want and be okay, that you can have what you want and be okay. And when you kind of cover all of those baselines and allow yourself to feel safe and secure, the nervous system regulates, the nervous system settles down a little bit, allowing you to open up to possibilities without fear of where they might go wrong or where it might take you. So I feel safe and secure within myself to be, do, or have anything I desire. Number 4, I am worthy and deserving to live the life I want. Again, pretty self-explanatory on this one. Kind of goes hand in hand with the I've always been good enough as I am. But worthy and deserving to live the life that you want. You want to live a certain life. whether that's more money, more freedom, the relationship that you want, and so on. You want a certain life, and that's okay. You are here to experience it. But many people sit there and think, I can't have that due to X, Y, Z reason. I'll tell you a little tiny story actually on this, where this affirmation has done quite well for me. I've always been into music. You know, I used to, even as like a really young kid, I memorized like 90% of the Eminem songs that I'd learned. I used to just go around just doing them in my head and things just for the sake of it. I used to write music as a kid and so on. And obviously now I'm a metal vocalist, which is kind of a considerable jump. But when I was younger, I remember I was just kind of under the breath, like just singing some Eminem to myself. And my mum told me to shut up and told me that I was just droning. And for the longest time, that really affected my confidence around music, because even though I wasn't trying in that moment, I was just kind of, you know, singing under your breath as you do. Hearing my own mum kind of like put me down regarding it really did knock my confidence within it. And I noticed for many, many, many years when trying to do anything music related, the story that I would always have coming to my mind was that I was droning, that I didn't have much range, especially when I got into the metal scene and you could hear like some vocalists doing like these crazy highs and some doing these really like guttural lows. And I was kind of hanging around that mid range. That story of like, you're droning, you can't do it, like blah, 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 because of what my mum had said was kicking back in. So this like, it kind of put a damper on myself and about thinking that I could go anywhere with music, or that I could have at least some fun with it. Until I started doing this kind of affirmation and a few more, and then realized that, you know, being in a band and doing music is one of the things that I've always wanted to do. And I'm worthy and deserving of that. Even if I've still got to work through some stories to be able to do it as well as I would like to do it. Just because I may not be the best of the best doesn't mean that I'm not deserving and worthy of at least giving it a go. So this affirmation really helped kind of quieten that inner voice regarding what my mum had said to me when I was younger. And as some of you will know, obviously I'm in a band now. We've got music on Spotify. The EP is on the verge of being finished and ready to release and such. So, you know, this affirmation has really helped me firsthand. Where was that one? That was the fourth one. What is the fifth one? Oh yeah, the fifth one. It is easy and effortless for me to be the best version of myself. Many of us, we know that we're destined for greater. We could always have we can always have more confidence. We can always have more charisma. We can always have more. There's always something that we can improve on, which is okay. Part of self-concept is actually having self-acceptance and accepting that you're not, you know, where you want to be is part of it that allows you to grow. Now, accepting that you're not where you want to be doesn't mean that you don't deserve it or that you're not good enough. It just means that you know that there's room for you to grow. And this affirmation really helps you grow because it allows you to have an easy and effortless journey to be the best that you can be, to have that physique, that confidence, that charisma, that job, that whatever it is. It kind of just sets the standard and sets the pathway forward to help you achieve that how you would like to. You're good enough as you are, yeah. You're worthy and deserving of the things you want, yeah. You feel safe and secure, yeah. But we know that there's always room to grow. And that's a good thing. Because why would you want to be the best of the best at 20 and then have nowhere to go, no ceiling to break through? Maybe that's just me having a little bit of a go-getter mindset, but I feel like if I was the best that I could possibly be in my like mid-20s, for example, and have no room for growth, I find it would probably be quite a boring like life to live. I find getting better and hitting accolades and things like that part of what excites me personally. So this affirmation just kind of gives you that room to grow, but without making it a miserable journey. It's easy and effortless for you to be the best version of yourself. But those are 5 self-concept affirmations that I think are incredibly good. Obviously, as the same with the specific person ones, you can adjust them. You can match them to tailor what you want and so on. But I really hope this video has helped. I hope it's given you some good ideas. These are good enough to live an amazing life, especially if you couple them with working on yourself and so on and building up that security and so on. But I really hope this video has helped. If it has, drop me a like and a comment to let me know. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and be sure to click that bell icon. If you need my help on a one-to-one basis to tailor advice to your situation specifically, so you don't have to piece together this general content that you'll find on YouTube, I do have products and services available to help you do that, which are on my website, linked down below. I look forward to working with you. Sign up for the Academy if you want all of my courses, working with me, and so much more as part of it. And I'll see you lovely people in the next one. Bye-bye.